Now, today we're gonna be looking, and for the last this month, the the uncanny X-Men Weapon X Wolverine. Now, this is what Target exclusive, and go try to get one nowadays. It's like $60 for itself on the aftermarket. I bought a store, and it's pretty cool to get the Wolverine because it is a reuse of the Walgreens exclusive Wolverine that's the Weapon X one. So technically, it's a reuse, and they just updated certain parts of it, from what I know, because that one had the pin, no, not the pin joint, but the pin joints, and this Wolverine doesn't have that problem where these are the pin joints, so you can't see the pin. But I don't really care if I see the pins. I don't want to figure my collection. But I bought this for 25 when it came out. This before the $27 for before the $2 upcharge now, and that's a problem because now if you want to get one of these, you're gonna have to look at the aftermarket. Or I know that Target is doing that for doing that for that new exclusives they're doing for the next Target exclusive, which is going to be Emma Frost, um, a Slaughter. I think it was Manslaughter. I think it was certain releases are being instructed going. Now the Emma Frost one I already saw. So with the Mystique, I already had the Mystique in my collection already. It's gonna be later on, but now I do have it as well. But I will say this Wolverine at the solo is pretty good actually, and I do like where in the thing showed you. I do like where it showed you. Okay, you could get all these characters for this for the exclusives. Pretty cool, pretty cool. But let's see if it was worth getting for your collection or not. Now, I'm gonna be honest here. This guy's hard to get right now, so you find him, good luck. But I will say the amount of stuff he comes with is actually worth getting. Ammos, because it feels like they're missing one more strategy, two more things. But we'll get that when we get there. I will say this is the second, the first one I bought. Now I had the absolute. I got the I think it's the 80th anniversary Wolverine. I got that one as well, and that one I get to review soon to later. But first, so let's say what the X or sorry, the Weapon X version of Wolverine. Now this is the technically a redo of the one that came out a while back ago. That was I think it was a Walgreens exclusive. I think it was. So the colors are a little more different. I say slightly different because the skin tone is a little more lighter compared to that one, and that one came out years ago. This one was a Target exclusive, and it so is. It is not easy to find, and that comes in second head sculpt. So I think the one comes with a bit more accessories than that one did. But let's look at the figure itself and see if it's worth getting on the aftermarket pricing. Now, the original helmet I like on it so much more, and I bought a tube for it, so I'll make him like he's floating in a tube of water when I put him on my shelf. So, like I said, it's basically a reuse of the old Wolverine, the old one that came out of Wabaco. So, if you get it, you're going to get that figure. Or if you had the old one, it's basically the same thing. A lot of it's same, but the wires, from what I know, the wires were red, if I remember correctly. I couldn't remember if that was wrong or not, but the wires were a little different colors to these ones, and that's maybe there from what I know. A lot of it is the same stuff, and I will say I do like the hair on the arms, the hands, the chest, the legs, even the feet have the hair too, which is really cool. Cool, kind of makes sense because Wolverine is the old guy, and at that point, the articulation is pretty good, but he can't really kick up to his back because the thighs are thick down here too. I do want to get the World War II Wolverine as well. I want to get that one, so I have like each era between the World War II Wolverine to the X Factor, sorry, the Weapon X Wolverine to the the 80th anniversary one to make it like show like how much time has passed between each version of the character. I will say the joints right here are good looking because there is more hair right here too, which is kind of awesome. And it does go pretty far back, so there's no. So I did not even modify this at all. This is how it is. When it goes forward, not much, but I think it looks more better when it's like backwards. And it really gives it the really cool vibe of a Wolverine that's gonna get ready to get ready to claw his eyes out. And I think it looks fantastic as it is. So, and the arms to go that far, like I said, and the feet go down pretty far down too, which is pretty good. And nothing much up with kind of makes sense. It's on that T type of body, so go spin that far forward, this far back. The head, here's the part with the head I see. Since the hair is so long, I'm going to take off the thing right here, kind of. The hair does get in the way because it's so long, it does block it from going down. But if you use it in the head, just pop it off by putting out the wire. Oh god. Give me a second. Just plug this in. Oh god. Let me just put the head on. The alternate head somewhat has more articulation if it want to stays on. Okay. There you go. It's on now. And that's just basically how you just do the head. And it does look up a little more, but not much more because this hair, like I said, is a little more longer, so it does get in the way. The alternate head, I do like it more better because, like, yeah, I don't really like a lot of hair, but since this one does get in the way as much, but it does move these things back a little more than I like, but that's fine. But I mean, technically, you don't really need to really use the wires. You can just leave it without it. And it does give it the range, so he can look that far that way, this far this way. Not much up, some down, so I'm gonna get some range at least. But I will say the alternate head is kind of cool. Then you do get the little bee things on its head to look at the, I guess, sensitivity or control its mind, which is that's what it is at this point. And it does have the die cuts like usual on top. So you're saying articulation. And these rear things do go up a little higher in case you don't like them being too low in the arms. And these things do come out as well, which is pretty good, but at the same time, they are the problem when they want to do with that. Now, if you take them off, which you actually can, you pop this off, pull this off right here. And there you go. So you actually can take it off right here from the box also. And you can get the form by yourself. That looks pretty good. You just got to fix the claws, which is a nightmare to deal with them. So you have the fist hand, but with a claw. You have an open hand on this side only, with no claws, which I hate that they only give you one hand like this on one side, but they don't give you the same size hand on the other side. It kind of sucks. But you also have the open hand. You have open hand with claws out, which is really freaking cool because, like I said, with that tube, you can just make them float in the water, and it works a lot more better, and it does more cooler. And you get it on both sides, so both sides do get these hands, which I like that part because the amount of accessories you get makes it kind of worth your money, especially when you bought it at this pricing. I bought it in stores, so for me, I'm fine. And let's put this back on. And put the other hit on to give it the ow body. Jesus, it really snaps on. It's not easy. And I will say, for being in Mobile Legends, he is kind of short. Now, here is Chameleon, another figure. I mean, yeah, Wolverine is shorter, but the 80 and 44, the 80 and God. The other one that came out, I think last year, is a little taller than this one, by like a bit, or it's like right here. So it is kind of crazy the height differences you see. Here is anti venom compare skill wise. The size is pretty good actually comparing them. And here's Hot Rod. Now I'd like to get some final thoughts on this figure. No, I do like this Wolverine. It is pretty good looking. And I really like how it feels because it didn't feel too wobbly and the joints I didn't feel like they stick together. But I really don't like one thing. The Marvel keep using that T kind of system where they put a thing through it and then make it work. I'm honest with you, the one criticism Marvel keeps doing the body or using that kind of system. I hate that system just as much. And if you're looking into like third party figures, they use ball joints or Jada Toys' respective balls. They use the ball joint system with for the figures, especially with the Street Fighter collection. Now I have some Street Fighters in my room, and I can tell you a lot of them are ball joints within a top of here, a top of here and here. So within the well lower hard body, top of the body. So you could do some of the better poses in case you really are into that kind of posing, which I like that part. Because it gives me a break from like these boring figures. And the J Toys one does have the problem of having some exclusives where you can't get them now. And if you do, they're going to cost you $100. Especially the finding Ryu and Ken. Those guys were calling exclusives, and there was like $100 nowadays. So yeah, cool. And some of them do have other heads for the original color for the Player One versions. Basically, how it works is with a Street Fighter Jada collab thing. How it works is they get the Player One, which is like the normal, which is the regular character, and then the Player Two version of it, which is like the alternate color of the character, kind of like a green suit. For the Cammy, it's her green suit, but in her alternate colors, it's like the silver outfit that was the what's it called? Oh yeah, the Entertainment Earth exclusive, and she also had the red suit, and then there are like multiple colors of the suit. And Chung Li has a red suit that was Target exclusive. Her suit or her normal outfit is the blue one. Same with Ken. Ken has the white as his player one, but the player two is like the red version. Does that work? No, sorry. That's Ryu over there. He got the white and then the red. It's normally either or, which is kind of bizarre at times, but the amount of hands you do get is limited. And you go out and head. And I do have one big boys. I'm getting more of them. It's a slow process. There's 19 characters, and then the recolors are out too. Which some of them are like side exclusives, or you can't get them anymore, and some of those have accessories for like the other variants of them. Because I know the Pro 2 in Bison comes with a alternate head for the regular Bison that you can buy in like Walmart and stuff. Which is kind of cool, but it's kind of frustrating because now you can buy that to make that work. And, yeah. But And that's our topic. That's on me, y'all. Look, I really like that, but at the same time, it's ridiculous. Well, back to the Wolverine. I do like how it looks, but the problems are within. It's a reuse, basically. But it's Mobile Legends. You know how they are. And the fact that J Toys also has the license to Invincible now, I'm sorry for that. Actually, kind of cool. So tell me, what do you think about if you do have the weaponized Wolverine or not? So I hope you have a good day, y'all, and I am gonna start working on these. See you guys next month.